First story, the new Patriotic Party MPP stalwart Gabby Dako is daring the National Democratic Congress NDC and its flag bearer John Dramani Mahama to prove just a single corruption case against President Akufo-Addo, his family members or appointees that can be equated to the Airbus scandal. In a lengthy post on social media to respond to the special prosecutor Kise Jabin's exoneration of John Dramani Mahama in the case, Gabby Dako challenged them to compare the Airbus case to any of the unfounded allegations they continue to level against the new Patriotic Party. My colleague Maxo Kojo Nyagamago joins me in studio with excerpts of the post. Max, good to have you here. So, what's in the post from Gabby?
Right, Kwame, it's an interesting one from Gabby Dako, a very lengthy one. Let me just run you through some of the points he raised. First, he refers to the fact that the hypocrisy, this I read his words directly and verbatim from his social media post. He says, the hypocrisy of partisan politics is indeed interesting. Just a few days ago, a senior opposition party official in Ghana held a press conference to condemn a relative of the vice president, who is also a businessman, for his company allegedly benefiting from a public contract of properly awarded. A week earlier, it was about a former boyfriend and, in quote, a baby father of a daughter of the president and a contract for spare parts where no bribery allegation is said to be involved. Today, that same propaganda chief is leading his party triumphantly with support from the media, hailing his boss, the opposition leader and former president, as being squeaky clean. Why? The former president and NDC presidential candidate for 2024 has been cleared of the Airbus scandal, which is a major bribery charge that had hung around his neck for the past 4 years. He goes on to say, thank God for Akufo-Addo's meticulous OSP. And yet that same party, the NDC, and that same leader, John Mahama, have made allegations of corruption against the current president, his family, friends, and appointees, their main campaign message, even to the point of using a patently fake document. And this he puts in brackets, not reports of reputable investigators against the current president and his family, to drive home the point. And this makes reference to the Japadia document, Kwame. But this is what is interesting, he asks. Though, let us dare the opposition and their squeaky clean leader to name one clear case, not mere allegation, against Akufo-Addo, his family members or appointees that come anywhere remotely close to this Airbus scandal and its volumes of findings by investigators and admissions of guilt by the bribe giver. In his conclusion, he says, let them put the Airbus scandal side by side to any of the charges they continue to lay on NPP's doorsteps. Yet, so desperate are they that they, led by JM himself, are eager to rely confidently and unashamedly on a book of fiction as their main dossier of evidence, and to use same to draw links and conclusions from other instances to show what Ghanaians are enduring today is worse than what they did see under Mahama's NDC. Never mind the tons of evidence of real development and spending that have gone directly into the welfare and well-being of families and communities across the country. It's a lengthy one, Kwame, and you get the full documents. You visit classfmonline.com. But that's just a brief of Gabby's post on X and some issues he has raised.
Right, so thank you, Maxo, so much for giving us the full details of what it's in the Facebook post of Gabby Dako, who happens to be a stalwart of the new Patriotic Party. So I wanted to get the reaction from the NDC, but unfortunately, our first story where the new Patriotic Party stalwart Gabby Dako is daring the flag bearer of the NDC, John Dramani Mahama, to prove just a single corruption case against President Akufo-Addo. We've been joined on the phone by the Deputy National Organizer of the NDC, Elikem Kotoko. Elikem, good evening to you. Thank you so much for your time on 505. So you have been dared to show proof. Are you taking up this challenge?
Good evening, my brother, and to your cherished listeners. In the first place, Gabby has just demonstrated such a humongous coward he is. In the first place, he has suddenly locked his comment section to prevent people from commenting or communicating with him on his X handle. Then number two, again, the coward that he is, not long ago, he was the same individual who said that he was no longer interested in domestic politics. And so what has changed suddenly? That he thinks he needs to come down and do some kind of damage control. Well, we do not need to take any challenge from him. We all know the corrupt practices of his uncle. We know how he himself, Gabby, has also been involved. The PDS scandal is fresh on our minds. So is the Japa deal, and then many other we can make mention of. Right from the very onset, when we got to know that the president was living in somebody's pocket, the cash for seats, and many. And you see, he has forgotten that our NCO proved with evidence the fact that Alhaji Bawumia's brother, Abraham Bawumia, was awarded 5 different contracts worth over 218 million, and he was paid immediately, whilst other contractors who have executed their jobs to date have not been paid. And the Auditor General has also gone further to indicate that those contracts were inflated by 3 times the cost. So we do not need to take on a challenge by Gabby Ochedaku. It is good that President Mahama has availed himself to all this scrutiny, and so he should just relax and take his time. The right time will come where it is not only his uncle, President Akufo-Addo, who will be subjected to that. He, Gabby Ochedaku, is also going to be. And this time around, it is not only he, Gabby Ochedaku, not only the president, but the president's daughter and relations, who in one way or the other have all found themselves within this government being awarded contracts here and there through dubious sole sourcing approaches. So we don't need to take on Gabby's challenge at all. He should just take his time and relax. Currently, he may have the mouth to be running around and be saying all manner of things. But at the right time, when the day of accountability comes, after John Mahama is sworn in as president and the first female vice president is also sworn in, the day of accountability shall start. And there shall be the need to make sure that all those who contributed to the plunder of the state will be dealt with according to law. There shall be no mercy in that regard. So he should not be running his mouth now. The time will come, and he will come to actually witness what will be happening to people who have plundered the state.
Okay, so he says that none of the allegations leveled against President Akufo-Addo, i.e. The ambulance paper scandal, the PDS, cash for seats, we can name a number of them, match up with the Airbus. Isn't it fair for you to punch holes into why you think that President Akufo-Addo is the most corrupt president, and of course the NPP?
Have we done any thorough investigation into the PDS or the Japa or the other instances? And don't forget that we had a former special prosecutor telling us that the president is the mother serpent of corruption. What could be a better definition of a corrupt leader than what the special prosecutor has actually already told us? And even the current special prosecutor made us understand how the powers that be are not letting him do his work swiftly. Who could be the powers that be? Are we not aware of the fact that even when some of the matters were being dealt into, he was trying to find a way to get some compromises in favor of his cousin, the then finance minister, Kenneth Oriata. So he is free to run his mouth and say all the things. We do not need to run based on Gabby Ochedaku's base or his dictates. We are focused on elections now. As and when there's a need to pass a comment or not on matters of this nature, we will do so. But the right time will definitely come. The corrupt practices that have been visited on this country, as you and I speak right now, I am aware that the renal unit in Kolegu has been shut down again because of the indebtedness to the tune of 2 million cedis. Meanwhile, you can recall a lot of financial misappropriation that has gone on, for which 2 million cedis shouldn't be any reason why someone should not be receiving treatment. So there are a lot of bloods on their hands, but they don't seem to care. We shall make sure that the day of accountability, it will be like a rapture.
Elikem, thank you so much for your time on 505 this evening. That's Elikem Kotoko, who is the Deputy National Organizer for the National Democratic Congress. Some 40 minutes after